Good afternoon and welcome to our Team G Tantrum. I'm not sure what I did to start that there. Neil is a bit delayed and will be with us. And we're hoping to have a couple of guests on from the North American meetup as well in a while. But I hope you're all well. I'd like to say I'm looking forward to the game, but I'm a little bit anxious and worried about what's going to happen in the next few hours. Liverpool are struggling, as we've been watching. I presume everybody else has been too. I'm assuming it's still 1-0. They couldn't hit a barn door when I was watching. So, yeah. And look, great results again for us yesterday. It's just about time we started picking up our own points to push ourselves away from Spurs, which would be nice. But we were just not feeling it today, to be honest. But who knows what the maestro has up his sleeve to go and drag something out of this. What can only be described as a free hit. So we'll do our best and see how everything goes. But I hope you're all well. Yeah, no real comment, anything to say there, guys. You want me to discuss or whatever? I'm not feeling many changes today either. I think it'll just be as is. And Michael says, I feel today will be a game about bravery, putting bodies on the line and taking a hit for the team. Character is what's needed and fighting for each other. 100%. We need a lot of fight today to be involved in this. It's a vital game. It's vital to get something. It's not vital to get something out of it, but it'd be absolutely amazing to get something out of it. And I think everybody would be very, very happy if we did. We are about a minute away from the team being ready. I will bring it to you. It doesn't look like we're going to get Neil in just yet, but fingers crossed we'll have no other problems and we can get him on. Anything to discuss there? Rachel says if we could come out of it with no injuries and not a battering, it'll be okay. Well, we said something similar on the preview that if we could come out of this with a point and no injuries, I think everybody would be really, really happy. I think that's probably the best we can hope for. Without knowing what the team is, that's the way I'm feeling about it, and we're probably nearly there. We're getting the team in. Another Villa podcast is going for a 2-2 draw today. I'd absolutely snap your hands off for that. Now the team is in. Now, what have we got? We do have a strange one. Emi Martinez in goal, Konza, Carlos, Torres and Luca Dean, Zaniolo, Tielemans, McGinn, Rogers, Diaby and Watkins. Strange to see Rogers or Zaniolo and Rogers in the team. Wasn't expecting that. And Diaby is in there for sorry, I'm just going through to see if there's anyone missing off the bench for Bailey, which is surprising. Yeah, I'll just run you through it again. Martinez, Konza, Carlos, Torres, Luca Dean, Zaniolo, Tielemans, McGinn, Rogers, Diaby and Watkins. I'm not sure what to make of that. It's attacking enough, but yeah, Captain Chaos and Zaniolo and Rogers in there as well. That's a strange one. On the bench, we've got it. Olsen, Matty Cash is back. Alex Moreno, Callum Chambers, Clement Longley, John Duran, Kane Kessler-Hayden, Leon Bailey, and Tim Irigbunam. So we've two right backs on the bench, but we have Konza playing at right back. I would have liked to see Cash back today. I think that might have made a huge difference to people, to us, especially in attack. But look, it's not bad at all. It's I suppose Zaniolo is the only curveball really in there. And Bailey for Diaby. He seems to think Diaby is playing well at the moment. Diaby, I saw, got voted Player of the Month for March, which I think everybody thought was a little bit unusual, considering the game time that he had. But fair play to him, he won it. And yeah, Neil is here, thankfully.
Thankfully, I have just seen the team. Apologies, everybody. I didn't want to have you all experience the screaming child that I was experiencing um, for the last few moments. So that's why
Everybody's
I'm
asking about
late.
my sandwich, Neil. Did you see my
Oh,
sandwich?
I did your tato sandwich. Only one way to have it.
It was,
Only
of
one
course,
way,
cheese and onion. The only thing for it is
of
cheese and
course.
onion. You couldn't put any other flavor between two slices of bread.
No, salt and vinegar would be horrible.
Oh,
There's our team. I know Paddy's probably gone through it already, but Martinez in goals, Conza, Diego Carlos, Pau, and Dina, Zaniolo, Tielemans, McGinn, Rogers, Diaby, and Watkins. So I know Paddy's probably mentioned it already, but I'm thinking that Bailey not being started here is probably the biggest talking point, I suppose, in this team. I'm just wondering really if Rogers is going to play more centrally. I know I keep on saying this, but I'm just wondering, will he with Zaniolo there? I'd imagine that Zaniolo isn't going to be off the right hand side, so it's an interesting lineup, and it'll be interesting to see what happens, Paddy.
yeah, I can't
Maybe.
make head nor tail of it how you put the two of them in there, but as you say, there might be some change that we're not expecting here, and some bit of magic from the maestro to put this in, to put the two guys in there together. We'll just have to wait and see. It's as you can see, he's proudly there in the main. Uh,
Mm.
the first thing that hit me with the picture came up as Zaniolo was playing. Um, let's see how it's I can't even guess. Like I can't imagine he's going to change the system. So we're going to see McGinn and Tielemans sitting from what I can see, and then it'll be, I would imagine it's got to be three in behind Watkins.
Mm.
Diaby, would Diaby play off the right and play Rogers in behind him possibly?
That's probably what it would be, I'd say, yeah.
Mm.
Or like you just don't like the way it's laid out here. It looks like Zaniolo is on the right. Like maybe that's what happens. Maybe he just wants. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting first 10-15 minutes when we see. We talked about it. I kind of did float it in the pre-match about maybe he starts Zaniolo, and I thought he wouldn't because we were going to need defensive effort today, and like while Zaniolo, I mentioned as well, while Zaniolo has been a bit better defensively, like the amount of times, and watch it again, watch it today, the amount of times he comes here and back and overruns the man with the ball. Um, it's like, and it's not like I hope Zaniolo plays today. I hope he scores 10 goals. But it's just I find that one strange to start him when we're going to be under a lot of pressure on the wings. If they start with Martinelli and Saka, we're going to take a look at their team in a moment. So to me it's not a strange one. It's not an unexpected one, but it's not the one I thought he would go with. I wouldn't have even been surprised if we gone with Alex Moreno and Dina in the same team today. I did think about that during the pre-match, but he hasn't really done that this season so far. It's more been kind of Cash and Konza on the right hand side, and I imagine we probably will see that link up at some stage with Cash coming off, probably in that right midfield role, I would say.
Possibly, it makes sense.
Mm.
As I said there before you come on, we've two right backs on the bench, which is unusual in
Mm.
itself, and none on the pitch. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see now what what Arsenal have to throw at us today, because I'm really not looking forward to seeing the embarrassment, the riches they have.
Um, Unless they have it behind some T minus 10 minutes. Yeah, I don't seem to see their team out yet.
Really?
Just on Twitter, they haven't announced on Twitter anyway. But I'm sure it's on one of the apps there. I'll go on to FootMob, might have it. Bum. Zinchenko and Trossard back in. Not too surprised about that. Yeah, Gabriel starts. That's what I was looking to see. So let's take a little look at this one. Excuse me. Um, I want that bloody stuff. I want that share. So we have it. Share. So this is from FootMob here. They have David Ray and goals, Zinchenko, Gabriel Saliba, and Ben White, Odegaard, Rice, and Havertz, Trossard, Jesus, and Saka. I didn't think that they would. I didn't think they'd play Havertz there. I thought maybe Partey might come in there, but they've obviously moved him back and put Jesus in as centre forward. That's a huge team from Arsenal. Arsenal are going for this, and I'm even more kind of confident now, or confident from the point of view that they're going to just attack like mad down the wings with the setup that they have there. So Villa are really going to need to defend those wings very, very well it's yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. On the bench for Villa, actually, we never went through it, is Moreno, Chambers, Longley, Duran, Kessler Hayden, Leon Bailey, Matty Cash, Robin Olsen, and Young Tim. And then on the bench for Arsenal is Ramsdale, Nketiah, Smith Rowe, Fabio Vieira, Gabriel Martinelli, Kivior, Jorginho, Tomiyasu, Partey, and well, they've named Jurriën Timber there, but he's obviously not on the bench for them today. They are going for a title, and I don't know what the score is in the Liverpool game. I suppose if I just go backwards here in football, it'll tell me if it's still 1-0 and still 1-0 Crystal Palace in the 78th minute. You know, they're going for the title, and Liverpool are having a slip up at the moment, so they're going to come out baying for blood. Arsenal and Villa get a draw today. It's going to be an absolutely brilliant result. But we've seen some queer results happen today with Ross County beating Rangers for the first time in their history, and also I suppose it could be levelled. Crystal Palace being 1-up at Liverpool, considering Liverpool haven't lost at Anfield this season so far. So it seems to be the day for weird and wonderful results. So let's hope that we can do the same thing. I have put a bet on this, Paddy. I think I showed it to you today. I put a bet on that Aston Villa won't lose the game, so Aston Villa or draw. John McGinn to get booked and Yuri Tielemans to have a shot a shot at all. Doesn't even need to be on target. So that's kind of the way my thinking is today. That I think Villa might be able to switch to grab a draw out of this one. But yeah, that's a strong Arsenal team.
Yeah. Like I think I'm addressing this as a free hit. So I don't care what anyone says. I'm not expecting us to do anything today. We said during the week, and I repeated it there earlier, if we can come out of this with a draw and no injuries, I think everybody be over the moon. But it's important now to look at the goal difference, and we can't afford any capitulations. We got a lot of the goals back yesterday thanks to Newcastle and the you were talking about players running past the ball like Mickey van der Ven did a couple of times yesterday. So the results obviously went our way. Even the Man United one dropping points as well, or being gifted points, whatever way you want to look at it. It's all going our way, but the time will have to come that we will need to put scores on the board, and it would be great if that happened today.
Yeah, anything today is a massive bonus because games went in our favour yesterday hugely. Well, United should have lost. I can't get my head around that penalty, but wait a minute, was that in the United game? I was at a wedding yesterday, so I watched a lot of football under the influence yesterday. The United penalty was dubious enough, wasn't it, Paddy? Or did I just dream that? Did I make that up?
It was dubious. It was a handball with hit a fella's arm that was down by his side and side on. Whereas our one against West Ham that I keep bringing up, hand out pointing at something and handles the ball. I don't know.
Or even the one against Wolves, was it where your man punched the ball forward? Who was it? I can't remember who it was, but punched the ball forward. I saw that one doing the rounds on Twitter as well this morning. That was deemed no handball, and it was in a completely unnatural position, and it advanced the ball forward. But look, as I say, them's the breaks you don't get when you aren't Manchester United, I suppose. But yeah, let's hope that like I'll take any penalties that are going today at the Emirates. I'll take any of them in our favour. I won't take any of them in their favour. So let's hope that David Coote today has one of his games where he maybe gives one or two dubious things in our favour, should I say. And we've got a good record under him. And I read today as well, Paddy, that Unai Emery has not lost in London in his as Aston Villa manager so far. He's 6 wins and 3 draws, if I'm not mistaken. So
Really?
Let's make this. Yeah, he hasn't lost in London since he took over. I'm 90% certain. Once again, I am a bit under the influence after last night, but I'm 90% certain that we do have that type of a record in London as well. So let's keep that going today. Absolutely. And anything out of today is a huge bonus for us. Anything out of today is massive. It puts us in a huge driving seat, because once again I see a bit of conversation in the chat room there about whether we need 8 points or 9 points to guarantee 5th place. Realistically speaking, we're at the situation now where Newcastle have 6 games left to play. To overtake us, they need to win 4 of those 6 games. Can they do that? I've looked at their fixtures. They possibly could. They've got Sheffield United and Burnley left to play. Now, that means we don't get any more points. Am I really worried about that? I'm not. But we win one more game, and I think we're done. I think we're in. I think we're in 5th place at least. We win 2 more games or 3 more games, I think we're in 4th place, and that would be absolute dreamland stuff. Because Liverpool Spurs week of hell is coming up, and yes, they could turn over Man City, Liverpool, and Arsenal, or whoever, that they have all these guys to play along with Chelsea coming up. They could turn all those over, and they could have a fantastic week as well. I suppose what I'm just kind of saying is where we are at the moment on the balance of probability. Every game is going to matter. But we're coming to the stage where we will know whether we're mathematically guaranteed or not very soon, probably in the next 2 weeks, I would imagine.
Yeah, I suppose it's hard to judge what way this Liverpool result is going to affect Arsenal's mindset going into the game, because you can be sure they'll know what way it finished. Is the pressure off them a little bit by Liverpool not getting anything out of this? Probably. But do they see it as an opportunity, or do they take the foot off the gas and see how this reacts? So I'm hoping it's the latter, because we could do with a bit of luck today. We really could. We've had the luck, as I said, all weekend. So let's create our own luck today and really put it up to them. That's what I'd like to see happen. But I'd imagine at the start it's going to be a very cagey affair. More in hope than expectation today. But I'm edging on the side of a score draw. But
me too.
That is a hope for me. So I'll go 1-1 and hope for the best. But I'm not expecting us to get anything out of it. But I think that would be the best we could ask for.
Yeah, and Sweet Sonics is 100% right here as well. We are 99.9% certain of getting at least the Europa League place this season from our league position, barring something absolutely bonkers going on. That 0.1% is obviously still in play. So once again, you talk about progression year on year, and I know we're we're fighting for Champions League, and we're as close to it as we've ever been, and this is really exciting. I mean, that's what we want to do. But Sweet Sonic is right here as well. We've wrapped up a Europa League place more or less with 6 games to go. That isn't the Aston Villa way of late. That's amazing. And that is really, really good stuff. So the consolation prize is obviously a consolation, but we've more or less wrapped that up. And whether we win the Conference League or not now is obviously silverware. It's obviously something that we want to have a notch in our belt with regards to it. But it's Champions League should be the focus from here on out. And as I said, I think if we get anything out of the day today and we beat Bournemouth, I think we're
in a good position. Yeah,
we're in a very good position, if not there. Based on the balance probability.
Yeah, and look, we've tough games ahead. I think every game is a tough game. We saw what Bournemouth did yesterday. We saw what Palace are doing today. They're still to play us, and then the little matter of Liverpool and Chelsea in the middle of that. You'd hope that we'd go and beat Chelsea at home, and get something out of Crystal Palace away as well. Liverpool might be a different story when it comes around, but we'll see. But look, it's ours. It's there for the taking. If it's basically in our hands. If we can keep going the way we are, and I wouldn't say the way we are. If we can get back to winning ways and get points on the board, we probably will go ahead of Spurs, which would be absolutely magic to not have to worry about the coefficient.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be brilliant for all you Gary O'Neill fans that are out there, like Liverpool, how they haven't scored in this game. They are winning an XG though, 2.34 to 1.87. So I'm sure that Gary O'Neill is at home fist pumping with regards to that. I have to take the win somewhere, I suppose, but yeah, that's a bonkers game. 85th minute. I still expect Liverpool, like with Liverpool, they always come back and they always get an equaliser somewhere along the line. But they're going to need to pull one out of the bag now, I think. So yeah, we're going to keep one eye on that. And the reason I bring that up is because I think I don't really have much more to go through, Paddy. I'm a bit low energy at the moment, in case anybody hasn't realised. I'm a bit low energy at the moment, so I don't know how much more of my boring, monotonous voice that I've got today. I don't know how much more it's going to take now before I lose it. But secondly, I don't know how much more of it you guys can take now. But hopefully, we'll be screaming and shouting with joy afterwards. Just to let you guys know, we won't have a post-match podcast directly at the end of the game today, and the reason being is I just have a small bit of daddy daycare to do, and I don't want to be rushing, I suppose, a podcast before while we're doing that. But we will be back later on tonight around it will be 7:45. I'm going to jump on. I know you'll be in the pub, Paddy. I don't know whether you'll be able to jump on, but around 7:40 you'll be back by then. So you'll definitely have me. We might have Paddy, and we will see you then at 7:45 for a post-match podcast. As always, and I haven't mentioned an awful lot in this as well, if you guys want to stay where you are, you'll be transferred directly to Dale's AVFC status live watch along as well. If that is something that you like, you don't got to go anywhere. I'm going to kick you straight in there at the moment once the ending credits are over here. I keep on forgetting to mention it recently. Dale is obviously doing super stuff there with his watch alongs, and he is the best stato man on the internet, bar none. So I definitely think if you guys want to hang on for that, we'll kick you straight in there, and you don't need to go finding the link anywhere.
Just to update people as well, we have our live podcast obviously this Friday in Birmingham, and it looks like, seeing as while we're on air here, I just was sent the phone number of an ex-player who is due to come along and join us next Friday, and they just sent me the phone number of the ex-player to say give him a call tomorrow and firm this up. So hopefully tomorrow we'll be in a position to let you know who's coming, and we can all come on. But for those that are listening, plan to be there early, because we
talking
will
about
have
7 o'clock start.
7 o'clock start for our special guests, and they'll be heading away, and then we'll get into enjoying the night. But it should be a bit of fun. Loads of tickets sold, still a few there if you're at a loose end next Friday or not stuck in Lille or whatever. But have a look there on Yapsody. You'll find the tickets for the game, and for all the 700 people who are in there, give us a thumbs up. Won't cost you anything, but it helps us, of course.
Exactly. And just before we do leave, I know it's Wrexham and it's not anything to do with Aston Villa, but neighbour and relation of mine, Anthony Ford, playing for Wrexham, they got promoted again. I think it's just a fantastic story. Some people love it, some people don't, but for me, to have somebody that from our tiny little parish where we grew up in Limerick, a place called Ballingarry in the foothills, or just at the foot of a hill called Knockfierna, to have somebody kind of living the dream is just amazing. Amazing. Made his debut at 17 for Wolves under Mick McCarthy. I think it was against Chelsea. He marked some of the best wingers in the world when he was 17 years of age, and now he's gone right down to Wrexham and is bringing them back through in a Hollywood, in an actual Hollywood script, I suppose, getting them up from the from non-league into the league, and now they're going to be playing League One football next year. So extremely proud of Anthony, and some of you guys will know that he's been through an awful lot this year as well, and last. So chalk that one down for one of the good guys, because he's an absolutely super person, and actually might try and get him. Might see if we can get him on the podcast, because he does have an Aston Villa story to tell. Without and no spoilers, does have an Aston Villa story to tell.
You didn't happen to see the video that they shared of the players celebrating, did you? The Wrexham one.
I didn't. But when we were at the wedding last night, when my cousin got a text from Anthony saying that if Anthony's getting married this year, he was going on his stag, and potentially his stag was going to be going to fall in around the playoffs. So a lot of the players were going to be going, and he was like, "Oh my God, what am I going to do here?" But now that they've clinched promotion, it doesn't matter. So he was listing off all the players that are going. So sounds like it's great crack. Sounds like it's great.
They played this song that I'd never heard before called "Weekend in Paradise." Did you ever hear that song before?
No, don't think I have. No,
it goes. Was it a pointless 3-day bender or a weekend in paradise? And I just thought that's very appropriate now for next weekend.
we might get it going. We might get it going for the karaoke part of the podcast, Paddy. Might get it going.
Absolutely.
Lovely stuff. Thanks so much, everybody. We will be back, as I say, with a post-match at 7:45 this evening. I think it's all... Well, actually, I haven't loaded it up. I'll load it up on YouTube now, so you guys will get notifications, reminders if you have the bell clicked and you are a subscriber. So we'll see you then, and here's hoping we'll be talking about an Aston Villa win. So in the meantime, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, and all that's left to say is up the Villa.
Up the Villa.